Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 165. You follow me on Instagram, and we still calling it Twitter. I am Hype on. That's HYMPE. That's Hype. It's not Hype. I'm not geeked up. Very special guest in the building, reoccurring guest in the building. My brother, Assalamu alaikum.
Well, alaikum
What's good,
assalam
my
into
bro?
Allah wa barakatuh. What's up, bro?
Let me introduce yourself to the audience.
How you doing, audience? I'm Aleem, Terrence. Either one, but preferably with Aleem. Me and Hank, my bro of I don't know, 30 plus years now. My guy. You know what I'm saying? At Aleem, Aleem, Qadir, Qadir on Instagram.
Ladies, those DMs are wide open.
Fact, very single, ladies. Very much trying single, and I'm trying to change that.
All right. Episode 165. Whoa, before we start off, podcast link live show. My bad, y'all. Shouts out to Nah and Mimi. Life be lifing. Got a new situation. Y'all know it was Ramadan. We don't ever hide that. Trying to, readjust to the new schedule. So, I might have a week or two of episodes. But if you get over there to the page, we always got content over there at the page at I Am Hype. Every Monday, me and my man Big Dan and Kelly Q, we doing those recaps on different shows and different things. Right now, we on 1923 and Raising Canaan. But every Monday at about 7:30 ish, we going live. Real dads, kids, and homework to do and stuff like that. Um, Podcast link live
Nice.
show though. The Empire Strikes Back, May the 4th. Tickets is on sale right now. You hit the link in my bio. You scan the QR code if you see a poster up around the city. Or get with us in those DMs at Podcast Link Philly on the gram. Also, subscribe to that YouTube channel, Podcast Link Philly. The first live show is up there right now. But yeah, tickets is on sale now. The Empire Strikes Back at King's Cafe. What is it? 218 Shelton Ave. Wayne and Shelton, if you're in the city, you know the area. All right, now let's go. Episode 165. The announcements is done. Why did the OU have to die? I've been sitting on this one for a little while. But you tell me, why did the OU have to die?
As I've been literally thinking about this since you sent me the topic earlier. And I have a few reasons, and I'll go through them, but I think like the first reason is the old me, like outside of sports, was hard to teach. Um, I was like, young, hard headed, and think I kind of know everything. And when people
As
try
we
to,
all are.
right, if people try to teach me stuff, like I wasn't really trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, whatever. Like you listen to them, but you kind of brush it off. Um, but as I started getting older, and as after I took, but mainly I'm gonna say after I took my shahada, that's probably when like I could really say really seen my life, like the old me die for real, for real. Like I was already making changes, you know what I mean, towards that. But after I took my shahada, it was like like the old me had to die because this is literally a new me. This is literally, you know what I mean, something completely new and
If the
completely
OU don't
different.
die in that if the OU don't die in that situation, then you just kind of, I mean, you didn't waste your time. I don't want to say that. But if you don't start to look at things differently and start to understand things differently, then what did you even take it for?
Uh,
So
totally agree.
if you're the same person that you were before you took it, that you are post taking it, and now we're not talking like a week or two because old habits die hard, but you don't know nothing at a week or two, or you don't know that much. Like you said again, it's the lack of understanding, it's the lack of knowledge that when you take your shot, they tell you you're like a newborn baby. And me and Hayes talked about this on the last episode, 164. When you look around our group, everybody's Muslim, and
Everybody.
some of these people have been Muslim for a lifetime. So you can't compare the newborn baby to the full grown adult. The newborn baby ain't going, Deuce and Dot ain't going, like I'm saying, carry
Facts.
things the same way. They're not going to drink out of a cup the same way because they ain't been doing it for the same amount of time. So you kind of got to like not kill yourself, which is what me and Hayes was talking about. Like you can't really compare yourself to the person who's been doing it for that long because now all you're doing is setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. Because again, you're a newborn. You got to kind
Right.
of relearn. You got to relearn life because
No. And that's exactly it, bro. Like, so I think like I mean not even I think I know like that was like, okay, that's when the new like that's when like you said the old me really died. Like that day I took my shahada. You know what I'm saying? And so like you said, like just my understanding of things, and like you said, the way I do, just the way I look at things are completely different. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like just like I was listening to a lecture earlier today, and it was about like like the lecture was like being content. You know what I'm saying, with the things that you have. And like part of this lecture was like, he was like one of the scholars was sitting with the Prophet Muhammad. He said he
Peace
walked
be
in
upon
and
him.
he was Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he all he had on was
Peace be
a
upon him.
was a izar. You know what I'm saying? And he said he had like marks from laying on straw. And when he looked in his cabinet, he ain't really have much. And he was like, he kind of like he was like he wept, and he said the Prophet was like,
Peace
you
be
know,
upon him.
why, like, why are you not happy with the law gives you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, like, this dunya, I'm not necessarily worrying about the dunya. I'm worrying about, trying to get the Jannah and pleasing the law. So this is all that he gave me. I'm content with
This
this.
is all that I need. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and and Ramadan literally teaches you that. Like, that's one of the things that Ramadan taught me, and I try to get better out of every Ramadan is, um,
That's
you think you
acceptance
need
though,
all of
like,
this
bro.
stuff, but you really don't need all of this stuff for real, for real.
The one thing you always got to get to is acceptance. We all believe and think that we deserve more because we all think and believe that we're special. You should be special to you. But we all expect that we should have all of these great things, and you got what you got because that's what you deserve and that's what you're getting. You make the best out of your situation. That's why I always try to tell people I never try to complain. I can only explain to you what's happening. Like me explaining to you what's happening is please don't misconstrue that we're complaining. It's like that's just what this is. And it's this way because that's the way it's supposed to be. And most people, like I said, don't accept that these are the circumstances that you've been given. They don't accept that this is what life is. These are the cards that you've been dealt. You might you might want two big jokers, but nigga, you got two threes of hearts. You better figure out a three and a four. You better figure out how to play this hand.
You got to figure out how to play that hand. That's a perfect analogy. Absolutely.
So for me, the homie had to die because I got married. You know me. I've been in zero relationships in my life except the marriage that I'm in. Uh, is nobody you gonna ever run into and be like, yeah, Hype used to be my boyfriend or a nigga or nothing like. Yeah, we probably talked. Like
Right.
some
Right.
conversations a little longer than others, but I I was never a relationship guy. I never wanted to be in a relationship. I used to meet girls and tell them like, this is not gonna happen. This ain't where it's going. And if that's what you're looking for, I'm not the guy for you. If you cool with this, then hey, we can still talk. I ain't gonna cuss you out or nothing. I might even still buy you a drink depending on how I was feeling that night. But
Right.
yeah, the old me didn't want no kids. The old me didn't want to get married. The old me didn't want anything to do with the family life. And right now, like you said, you get what you get. All I got is my family life right now. Other than, I mean, obviously, I got 1,000 different hustles. We gonna get into all those things in the shows. But every time you see me, I got my kids with me. My kids is here now.
Right. No, that's a
And
fact.
uh, I take pride in that. And I always just say they mine. So if it's good, bad, or indifferent, they're my problem to handle. Not even saying that they are a problem to handle, but like sometimes you get stuff you want to do, but like nigga, these is yours. You made them, so it's either you or it's mom. But ain't nobody else obligated in them situations but y'all, because y'all the ones that made them.
No, for sure. And I know that, like, and you just said something really, like, really crucial. And, like, that was part of, like you said, the old me and something that's changed. And honestly, why I've been single since I took my Shahada, is I had this conversation with somebody, but, like, same conversation is, first of all, I'm Muslim. We don't do boyfriend, girlfriend. Like that, like we're either going to be married or we're not supposed to be talking at all. But all of
Yeah,
we about to be boyfriend, girlfriend. No,
yeah, I'm
lad, like
for life
that's
on them situations.
yeah, I don't, that's lad. Like you said, I don't do those situations no more. Like, so it's like, a lot of the things that I used to do, like I said, again, I could be very honest. Like, even all of just like this, the frivolous sex, like just meeting up with somebody, just like, I have stopped all of that. So that's why even like before Ramadan, for me, it wasn't difficult because it's like, I'm not dealing with nobody on that level anyway, because like, that's not where I'm at with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to think, I used to lead with that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, as I started getting older, it's like, no, that's a given. That's going to be there, especially if you get married and all of that. But it's like, I can't, I'm not on that type time anymore. Whereas though, like you said, I could be like, oh well, yeah, you're my boyfriend. No, and I'm Muslim. We that's dependent on like a staff of law. Like we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I do. So,
I
you
mean,
know,
now,
that's what you're looking for.
like
Like you
we
said, I'm a gracefully go in and bow out and hope you find what you're looking for, but it ain't
like
gonna be
we
with me.
talking now. Now we we ain't gonna just act
We
like it
might have
ain't
a
what
little
it is.
chat or two. Like yeah, right. You might have a little chat or
I was about
two.
to
You know what
say
I'm
now
saying?
because what we the collective we, as my man Sleeves would say, as a whole,
Right.
not just us, but we the collective we definitely do things. Somebody does something every day they ain't supposed to do. So they don't want nobody to hear this and be like, oh well, people be doing this, people be doing that, people be doing everything. That's the way people are set up. Like there's nobody in it's somebody in the world to do everything, good, bad, or indifferent. So, but yeah, that it ain't what you're supposed to do. But just you hope people stand on that. Other than
Right.
that, like I would always say like anybody who's known me or really knows me, then they know like the core of me has been the same person that I've been since forever. If I tell you something, you could take it to the bank. You ain't never worrying about like, oh no, you told me this, but it was that. Like I've never been that type of guy. The biggest change that I had though was, like I said, was getting married, and something that you brought up when you was like, yeah, I had to literally watch the old me die was when my dad died. Uh, in the cemetery, because janazas, for those who don't know, for a janaza, we physically put you in the ground. Physically put my dad in the ground, and coming up out of the hole strong, my brother had to pick me because he's the only one who could have probably picked me up. Had to get me up out the hole, and as I'm coming out the hole, EJ RIPE taps me and says, "Bro, get your mom. Your mom is crying." And this moment right now, what you just gave me was, "Oh, she's now your responsibility to handle." So that was one of those like life changing type of situations where it was like, "Oh, he has now left you to handle this." And copy. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. I ain't gonna go like, oh man, but I need a moment of my damn self. Nah, she needs more of this than you do. So you go ahead and tackle that.
Right.
But yeah, those will be like the two biggest joints that I like felt like things shifted with me.
Yeah. No, like you said, and um, that was also like that honestly like so that situation, not that situation, but even that situation, but talking to your brother, you know, Sabor, that was one of the things that even like, you know, I was always thinking about taking my shahada. It was always something I was interested in, but you know how close we are. This is bros. And he just was like, you know, inshallah, you know, and it's time for me to go meet the lost pain of my ta'ala. Bro, you ain't Muslim, like you're not gonna be able to do nothing, bro. Like you ain't gonna be able to come, like, you know what I'm saying? Like nowhere like near the situation.
Oh yeah, you could be sitting out in the hall, but you can't be in here. Yeah.
Yeah, like right, and but even with the father, like you know, like you said, you know how close me and the father I was close with. You know, I've been close to him my whole life. Like you know, I went
Oh
up to
yeah,
the, you know,
I got something related to you and him. In
uh,
the next second.
right. But I went, you know, but like you said, when I, you know, when I went up to the masjid, like you said, when they was cleaning the body, like I was literally sitting out in like you said, in the masjid while they was in the back cleaning the body, like you said, because I couldn't go back there. Um, and I that stuff like that stick with me, and it was like that didn't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, because like the father played such an integral role in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like and like you said, I've known y'all my entire life, so it was like, yeah, that's not cool with me. Like that don't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like
I told Ro, I told Ro this. You can't go back there, but when I go, nigga, you better be sitting in that hallway. Like
right.
you can't come in, but you better be sitting in the hallway.
And that's
Um,
exactly where I was with the father, like you said. So it was like I used to just remember even like coming to the house and they be all praying. I had to stand in the vestibule to the point now where I'm praying like we pray together. It's stuff like that. That's like you said, like you can't be the same person if you going through different situations. Like you know what I'm saying?
you
Like you
shouldn't
said,
be
like you said, I
you
remember.
shouldn't be the
No, you
same
shouldn't be
person
like you said. And I
because
remember, like, bro, listen, like you said, I know we on the air and all of that, but I remember you literally crying when me, Hayes, and Brick took our
oh
shot.
yeah,
I
I ain't got
literally
no
remember you
problem.
like you cried
Oh
like it
no,
was. I've literally never seen you do that ever.
I I don't have a problem. I ain't got no problem with admitting none of that because that was genuinely how I felt. Like I
Like
was like I've always said like I've never experienced tears of joy to the point where like I'm so happy that I cried. That was the first time that ever happened because that
that
was
was one of the most powerful days. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. Like when
that
I
was
seen you do
three.
that, I was like, that made me like that. That was like yo, like this was like, even like I said again, that was always like, I was always like, feel like I was being called to it. You know, like it's always a time and a place. Um, but at that moment, it was like yo, like then like yo, I'm over there crying, like yo, this was that major, like you said, a tear of joy, like to see three of your brothers who you've been brothers with your entire life do that was like,
And it's also too, while we still like along the lines of my dad, that's the building that him and his friends like risked it all to get built that we're doing this in. So you know what I'm
facts.
saying? It's a double entendre of the situation.
Right, right.
So
We took the shot. We took our shot and prayed on the rug that he helped put down.
that he helped, yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying? Right. So it
even
just
I,
it's
I'll
a
even
lot
give
of that
you
stuff for sure. Like,
I even give you a little bit more on that with the rug situation. Before they tore up the last, he passed when they put down the old new rug, and when they was taking that up, Unc told them, "Well, Abdul got in on that carpet, so if we take this up, he ain't in no more. So we gonna have to donate some bread for him." He said he had the most money from everybody putting in bread for him.
alhamdulillah. But yeah,
So,
like you
all
said,
right,
bro, like so, like I feel like that was the biggest day, like the, like you said, we you know, here's the thing, like we know we're not perfect, right? But Allah knows this, right? Like you said, we all, like you said, people got boyfriends. But here's the thing, like you said, the biggest thing is that's why we pray 5 times a day, is to repent for some of the things, you know, for to repent for our sins throughout the day. Allah knows we're not perfect. Like he literally created us. Like he knows that we're not perfect. He knows every shortcoming that we have. Um, but like you said, like I said again, if you're not like, you know, trying to ask for forgiveness or rectify those things, like it's like, you know, like you said, again, this is no judgment to me. I always tell people, like, at the end of the day, it's not my job to judge you. Like, you're going to have to talk to a lost man about the island. Like, you know, inshallah, when you meet him, like, that's a conversation you're going to have. But that's not me to judge, you know, nobody that move how they move. And like you said, like, we personally know, you know, we ain't gonna put no names out there, but we know Muslims that have girlfriends. Like we literally know them. Like
yeah,
personally, like
I don't know anything, folks. All right. Next, let's switch it up now. Next segment of the show is sponsored by Custom Hustles. At Custom Hustle World on Instagram is Custom Hustle Co. On Twitter, this is the Get to Know segment where shouts out again to my girl Taya. I stole this one from her. Taya Talk Tuesdays every Tuesdays. Check your local about to say local listings on some TV type time. Check your podcast streaming apps and tap in with my girl Taya. Um, we feature a project from the clothing line every week though, and this week we will be featuring Custom Hustle sweatsuits. Right here, these are the situations right there. This is a white and blue. You know, get with me and we can make all of those situations happen available in any color that you put together or think of. All right, so get to know. Get to know now. This is the first one we're gonna do with you with the get to know segment. Um, what did you learn from my dad? Because full disclosure for people, I always tell people if you're not from around here, the whole hood calls my mom the mother and the father.
I was about to
So
say it's weird when you say my dad. Like, that would definitely threw me off a little bit because like you said, I still call her. I just call her and say, "Hey, mother, you need anything?" You said I call her the mother. Like you
yeah,
said, I
she
don't.
just told me.
Oh yeah, I just called her the other day. Like, this Randy, you know, does she need anything or whatever? But the biggest thing that I learned from the father, honestly, is humility. Like Like, like the father was one. Like if you didn't know certain stuff, or like you said, wasn't so certain stuff, like you would never know because the father never talked about none of the things that he did and how he was like literally one of the people to help build the Philadelphia Muslim population the way that it is now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he literally was one of like the founding people of like, you know, this of that situation. Um, and if you don't, like I said again, if you don't know people like you and like, you know what I mean, that had certain conversations, you would have never known that because of how the father moved, like just how humble he was. And I also learned that, you know, listen, everything not for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like the father gave you, so he gave you just some gems, man. Like he used to always just give you little gems. And
I
like I
remember
said,
he
I
told
can
us
go, I
if
can
it.
go with a lot, man. Like, you
I
know,
remember
just
he told us if it worked, y'all be doing it for me.
right. Like he will always give you a little one liner or a gem that you just was like, oh, okay, fine, I respect it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But just and and honestly, like, and this is another thing I never, and this is my first time even like divulging this really to you is how to properly treat a woman, like
Oh yeah, that was
how to
definitely yeah.
properly treat, because like you know, the mother, you already know how to like the mother is the mother, and the father let the mother do her like he never like was on no getting in the way when she wanted to do certain stuff or just like he fully supported her whatever that what I mean whatever and the mother never needed or wanted anything because the father always made sure that she had whatever it is that she wanted or needed. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned was like that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how you do it. And it was like, and by doing it that way, like and again, like I'm not just saying it because I literally I practically lived at your house. I literally never at one time ever heard the father like raise his voice at the mother, towards the mother, about the mother, anything along those lines. I never heard him talk bad about her. So just those type of things that I really picked up on, like, you know what I'm saying, was like, okay, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? This is how you treat a woman as opposed to going about it the way that I used to go about it.
I tell people that all the time. Relationships was different for me because my mom and my dad never had one argument in my house. Like they might have disagreed on Chinese or Italian for the night, but
Yeah, like,
that was never one time where we had none of that. Not even a raised voice. Not nah. We're grown adults. We could talk out with a situation. We ain't got to do none of that in front of your kids because I don't know why people think you can remember what it smelled like in your grandma's house when you was 4, but you think you didn't go remember when your mom and your dad was arguing. Like copy.
right. And like you said, even if they did have any argument, like you said, it was never we
In
never
front of
heard
us,
it.
yeah.
Never. We never heard it. Like not ever. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, okay, this is what a healthy marriage looks like. This is
Yeah.
legitimately what a healthy marriage looks like in Islam. And it's like, okay, like that's how you do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that was one of the biggest things that I took away from just always coming around. That's why I used to always come around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, how y'all like how they treated me and how y'all treated me. It was like, okay, this is different. This is not like this is the outlier right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these two are the outlier. This is not the norm in the black community. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, so you can have a relationship without going through all of this rigmarole and nonsense and back and forth and screaming at
Niggas
each
used to
other.
argue about who was coming to eat at our house every night. Like
Facts. Like exactly, bro. Like you already know, like even when I used to like when I would come work at the store, like you know what I mean, when I had the store, I used to come work a little bit, and the mother was like, Tita, you better get something. You like, what do you want to eat? You better eat something. Like, no, I'm good. No, you better eat something, or I'm not going to get something to eat, TT, and stop playing. Like, and I used to be trying to chill. She used to literally force me to get something to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like, okay, like, so that's why you said that's why I will literally call her to this day every like at least once a week. I'll call her mother. Hey, do you need anything? If you need anything, give me because it was always how she treated me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she welcomed me with open arms. And it was just like okay, copy. Like you said, that's why
all
she's
right,
the mother. That's why we literally
all
call
right,
her the mother.
I got another one for you. What was the last thing that made you smile?
Ramadan, finishing
Like,
Ramadan,
okay.
finishing
If they
Ramadan.
if they had a male birth control pill, would you take it?
Oh, that's a funny question. So like we talk about it, that's a perfect segue to what we talking about, like with the old me and the new me. The old me, 1,000% I would have took that joint, right? But being a Muslim man, like that's not a part of what we can do. Like we can't. We're supposed to have children to try to build up the ummah. So now I wouldn't. But you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have took 15 of them joints and tried to load up on these joints.
All right, I got one more now. This is a new joint. Finish the story. So finish the story that I'm gonna give you is Martin. When we leave Martin, Martin is moving to LA to do his show. Gina is becoming the executive at whatever the hell Gina did.
An
Who gets
ad
the old
executive, I
ad
guess.
execs copy. So now Martin and Gina moved to LA. That was probably like 97 ish. So now we talking like at least 28 years ago. Finish the story though. Whatever happens with Martin and Gina? Did they have kids? Did they stay together? Did they break up? Where are they at now? Finish the story for me.
In 90, that episode, no, they never. First of all, they never had no kids. Like,
No,
unless,
no, no,
unless,
no, no, no. What I'm saying is we leave Martin and Gina in 1997.
right.
Now we 28 years later. Finish that story for me. Did they ever have any kids? Whatever happened with Martin's show? Was his show successful? Did Gina end up getting fired? That's why I said finish that story. What do you think was the outcome of Martin and Gina?
Um, I don't think they would. I don't think they had no kids. Nah, they definitely didn't have no kids. My man, even though my man Marty Marl had a kid, they was getting a little bit too old to have some kids now. I mean, they was
They're
already.
like 24, 25. Like
Yeah, I don't think my man Marty Marl one. I mean, he loved the kids, but he was jaded by a little by the young boy. You know what I mean? By the young boy who thought he
Bob
was his pop
Miles.
and all that. Yeah, I mean, he was when my
Say
man
love
Martin
you,
might have been a little
Martin.
bit jaded
I
by
just
that,
want to go to
and the
Arizona.
joint he was taking care of the baby. Remember, he was taking care of the baby, like, you know what I mean, they lost the baby because Sinead had the baby across the hall and all
Little
that. Like,
Cameron, yeah.
you know what I mean, little Cameron, exactly. My man Martin, like, he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't that really good with the kids. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they had no kids. But I definitely think they would. They still married and they. My man Martin, he big time TV boy now. I mean, he would have been Arsenio Hall at the time. You know what I mean? And Gina would have, Gina would have been, she would have been Mr. Oaks. You know what I mean? Everybody would have been running the show now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right, now last one. Did Tommy have a job?
Tommy did not have a job. Like, Tommy was in. Yeah, matter of fact, he did. I keep trying to tell people. I was just having this conversation the other day. Tommy was a hustler, bro. Like, Tommy was literally like, I mean, he was on his how to hustle drink, bro. Like, but he ain't never had no real like official 9 to 5. But my man he used to be too late. You coming in here joint with Pele's and all of this, levers and all of that. Like, where you getting the money from, brother? Like, you gotta be doing something to get
This is
this
a hell
money,
of a
good
knot
brother.
you got there, Tommy.
It's a nice watch you got there, good bro. That's what I'm saying,
Hey,
dog.
man, you
So
know I was doing what I do.
that's what I'm
All right.
saying. So no, I don't think my man ever had like a 9 to 5, but like he was the first dude like doing like Instacart and DoorDash and all that. Like my man Tommy used to be out there he used to be on his how to hustle joint, bro. Like, you know
My
what I'm
man
saying?
Tommy worked at the great big black building across the street. All
My
right.
man, all I know is I look up and bow. There you was,
Bow,
bro.
you was
Like, you know
there.
what I'm saying?
All right, last segment of the show is what do we need to know? What do we need to know is sponsored by H2H Cleaning. We do roof and plumbing, flooring, HVAC, cleanups, cleanouts, tree trimming, grass cutting, remodeling. We handle your plumbing situations. We don't handle septic tanks. Okay? I like to disclose that we don't handle septic tanks. We do power washing too. Power washing is expensive before you ask me. We can do it, it's just expensive. That is at H2H Cleaning on Instagram only. We're here to help. Just tell us how we can help. Last thing, what do we need to know?
um, well, what do we need to know is that
Do we need to
it,
train anywhere? Do you saying we got any
yeah, I'm
situations
gonna
that we
get
should
there
push
real
through?
fast. I'm gonna go kind of. I'm not gonna be long, but one thing that
This is
we
the
need to
floor is
know
yours. You can
is
take as long as you want.
one thing I
My
know
rundown is
is
too long for me to tell niggas not to take long.
at it's okay for the old you to die. It's okay. Like, it's okay for the old you to die and make room for the new version of yourself. Like, it's okay. Like that's definitely okay. Um, Another thing you need to know is if you're trying to get in any type of shape, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to gain muscle, whether you want to slim down, you got a vacation coming up, I'm your guy. I've been a trainer for 14 years. You can get through my Instagram page at PUSHTHRU Fitness. That's Push Through Pain Fitness. All one word. You don't have to put any spaces. You can check some of my workout. I've been doing this for, like I said, almost 14 years now. Asked my brother Hank. I gave him some pointers. Me and him went to the gym a few times. Um, I don't toot my own horn, but toot. I'm pretty good at what I do. Like I said again, I've been doing it for a while. I'm passionate about it. So, yeah, you definitely try and get in shape. The summertime is coming, baby. That's the summer will be here before you know it. You know what I mean? So get with me ASAP.
So you still are you still doing the Zoom out of town situations for my
I
out of town
still do.
friends?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So I do
International hype is not just a hashtag; it's a way of life.
I do in person, whether you want to meet me in person. I do Zoom sessions. So whether I don't care. You could be living in, like you said, you could be living overseas. As long as you got access to a phone and internet, I can train you. Right? Like so, let's get it popping. Any way you want to do it.
Uh, One thing I want to jump in on this is for you to this is your open floor situation here. But if I don't toot my own horn, who the hell will? The person who said don't toot your own horn was the person who didn't have a horn to toot. Okay, so I always start off the live shows with can I think out loud and can I tell myself I'm proud? Okay. You be proud of the situations that you're doing. You always big up your situations. I never let nobody say you still doing your little anything. There's nothing little about none of the stuff that I'm doing. My situation is very big. Google me. So make sure you spell it right. It's HYMPE. It's hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Before we close out the show though, podcast link live show. The Empire Strikes Back, May the 4th for King's Cafe, 218 Shelton Ave. Get your tickets now. Hit the link in my bio. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel for us. We got a brand new channel, Podcast Link Philly. The first live show is now up on there. So you can get a taste of what we did the first time. The second show we can't do too many copyrights, too much music on it. This is why one of the hashtags is you got to be there. But in or out of the city, you can say, in case you can't make it, we will accept the donation if you buying the ticket. We appreciate you hitting the button. Um, but yeah, make sure y'all hit the link in my bio. Get your tickets now. May the 4th. Doors open at 4 o'clock. Doors open at 4 o'clock. Doors open at 4 o'clock. And when we say 4 o'clock, we mean 4 o'clock. We don't mean 6:30. But that was episode 165, bro. Love you. Assalamu alaikum.
I love you more, bro. Walaikum assalam.
We are out.